Ooh, big one. Big small. Oh, yeah. That's a way to start, Mac.
Yep.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Oh, good fish, good fish.
Yeah. That's the way to start this deal, Mac.
You
Ooh,
bet.
look at that baby. Oh, first fish of the day in the first 10 minutes. And look at this little monster here. Oh, come here, hang on. Hang on. So I get a lip on you. Oh, look at that. Woo! Okay.
That's a great fish, Al, and there's absolutely nothing better than smallmouth on topwater.
We're out here 10 minutes and this is our opening fish. My friend Gary and I are doing something we really love to do. Fish smallmouth bass. I gave Gary a call about a week ago. Hey Mac, you want to go on an exploratory trip with me and go up to the Atikokan area, which is a part of Sunset Country in Ontario, and in my opinion, has basically some of the best smallmouth fishing in the entire world. You heard me right, in the world. Bold statement, you're gonna see why. We're up here for 3 days. We might fish 3 different lakes. Got him. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, I don't know, man. That brownie. Spitting up craws.
Spitting up craws.
Yeah. We're right on them shallow rocks on the point there. I put that, I thought we'd try some of the shallow inside weed lines and rocks, and it worked here. It didn't take long. Yeah, you know, these fish really like inside edges and rocks. You have to use, I've caught fish so far this morning, a little while we've been here, on a little of everything that I throw. This is one of the, you know, big bite baits. Makes a whole bunch of Finesse stuff. Yeah, and a whole bunch of it in that Sensation product line. We got 3 days. I'm so excited because of the quality of the bite. Oh, by the way, another plus to keep in mind up here when you're coming in up here for smallmouths, they like sunshine. Sunshine days like this, the craws come out, you know, you get on top of the rocks, sometimes on top of the weeds, and the smallmouth really turn on. They like sun, big time.
Couple on it, Al.
Okay, I'm coming.
There's more with them.
Huh? Oh, Mac. Let me see if I can double up here.
Little beauty, little fat football.
Wow, holy smokes. Woo, never let me down when I need a monster.
That thing is so
I
fat.
think I'm gonna need a still shot for social media with that. Give me a still shot.
He was all over it. I was doing something really different with the bait. It really seemed to work. All right, here we go. Come on, buddy. There you go. Look at that one. Again, it's got beautiful markings. Really a nice fish.
You know, these systems here, Atikokan is one of our favorite areas to go. And we're basing out of Nim Lake. And it's in the heart, if you look at a map, it's in the heart of some of the best smallmouth fishing in all of Sunset Country. You look at all the lakes on this map, every lake here has got smallmouth. Every single body of water. It's like a mecca for smallmouth. Now Jeremy's got a unique business model here. Let him tell you about it.
So last year, it's currently 2024, so in 2023 we celebrate our 50th year in business. All of our lakes offer walleye,
Canadian gold, huh?
smallmouth bass, northern, most of them have lake trout. I do have one lake that is just strictly lake trout, bass, and pike. The rest of them have all 4 species. So on average, we outfit about 3,000 paddlers a summer. Our fly-in fishing trips are around 1,200 people do the fly-ins. The canoeing is essentially infinite. We're limited with park permits, but as far as gear, we can outfit up to 350 people at any given time. Whereas the outposts are finite. We only have 12 of them. They're quite popular, and people tend to book them a year in advance. That's the advice I give people. Look at your travel plans. Give me a 2 or 3 week time frame, the type of fishing that you're looking for, and I will usually find you a camp. A lot of our guests, actually about 80% of them, rebook the exact same week every single year. So our guests come from all over the world, in fact. We get a lot of Europeans, basically due to Quetico Park and the Boundary Waters. It's a very large international draw. For my fly-ins, most of my peers in northwestern Ontario see a lot of guys from like Minnesota, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Michigan. We get most of our guests because we're focused on smallmouth bass. The Atikokan area is very well known for smallmouth. Most of my guests come from the south, so I have basically St. Louis and south. If you look in our parking lot up here, you'll see probably half the plates currently are Georgia and Alabama. We get a lot of Tennessee, a lot of Texas, and I just flew a group out from Southern California. So all over the southern United States. Basically where guys like to fish for largemouth, they come up here for some amazing smallmouth fishing because we got those big round football bass.
One of the benefits we've talked about is these lakes are wilderness lakes. They're remote. Now that's a good thing, and it's a fun thing, but also it causes somewhat of a problem because we have come to rely so much on our fishing electronics, depth, temperature, and especially mapping. And you get lakes like this where it comes out of nowhere to nothing. Mapping is important. Well, Humminbird's got the solution for you. It's called Auto Chart Live. So if you're going to come up here for 3 or 4 or 5 days, you can create your own map as you go. And then you've got that for use for the rest of the trip. And it's really, really a slick tool to use. When we left the dock this morning, or the access, we turned on Auto Chart Live because, like most of you that come up here, we're new to this area. We don't have a chip. And so we've been making our own map. And just most recently here, we've charted out this, it's a series of islands that are tied together by reefs, and we got a map of that now. We've been doing pretty well right here.
Got him. Let's see if there's anybody with him.
It's a brownie.
Now it looks like a single. Looks like a single, Mac. Oh, there's another one with him. You got your bait on?
Yep.
Okay. I got him right down here, Just drop it straight down. He was down under the other one. You'd be amazed at how many times this works with smallmouth.
Oh, I know.
Follow.
Oh, we've done it a lot.
You know, and then you.
Absolutely.
Then
works.
sometimes the biggest one is the other one.
Yeah, quite often.
It happens so much. It'll probably happen to us today. Some of these spots were so good, these fish are. We found a bunch of really, it seems to pattern some of these saddles that were on here, big saddle areas.
What we're doing here is Al is casting up on top a little bit. It's not a big break, but there is a break. And I'm fishing down below, really basically jigging behind the boat. And that way we're covering, he's covering on the retrieve everything from where his cast lands to the boat, and I'm covering under the boat and behind the boat, and seems to be working out really well.
That's one of the fun things about finessing them with plastic like this. It's often, sometimes you have 4 or 5 of these with the one that you're hooked on. Look at the colors on this one. Mac, look at how beautiful this one is lit up. Amazing colors on this one.
Don't you love those stripes?
Yeah, this was an extremely well marked one. Beautiful fish. You know, it always amazes me in this area, you know, talking to Jer a little bit on his clientele base. This is naturally, we get the walleye, lake trout, pike fishermen, but he says a lot of our smallmouth clientele are from down south. Kentucky, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Texas, Indiana. These people love to go bass fishing, and they don't have access to a lot of smallmouth, so they come up to here and have an unbelievable trip catching big smallmouth like we're catching now, and in some lakes catching 100 fish a day with some big fish. It's fun. It's a fun area, I tell you.
So far, ooh, nice fish.
Oh,
A leaper.
guess what? I'm gonna have a jig hanging over here with a marabou for you. And when you get him here, I'm gonna get him. Is he here yet?
It's right beneath the boat, still down.
I got one too. I got the one on the other one. I got him converted.
You got the
You
other
got
one?
him and I got mine converted. And we told you, it's so many times this happens on smallmouth. It happens so many times. We had a few. It's an old trick that has been. Ooh, these fish are so tough, Mac.
Aren't they though?
Oh, look at this big beast.
Pretty fish.
When you double up, we've done this so many times over the years, and you know what the best conversion bait is? A hair jig. Day in and day out, it'll beat plastic all the time. You'll convert more on hair than you will on plastic. We've done it hundreds of times. And you come up here, wherever smallmouth are, they like to bite, and sometimes it isn't rare for 2, 3, or 4 more of them together. Let's get a couple shots, Mac, for social media. Give me something on my phone here. You know, we're finesse fishing right now. Yeah, you know, and that means light line and a small finesse light baits. And a lot of times in these lakes up here, you have to do that to get bit when you're up in shallow water. And my rod of choice is the St. Croix Legend Tournament Bass. This particular rod is a 7.3 medium light power, extra fast action. Yeah, the reason I like this rod is it's a 7.3, like I said, and you got a lot of power behind it for a light action rod. And yeah, you know, sometimes I'm down in real tough bites on a lot of lakes. I'm fishing 6-pound test line, you know, and you're catching 4 or 5 pound smallmouth. And so it handles the fish really, really good. See all the backbone, see how it bends? And it's all forgiving. And it just fishes this lighter stuff really, really, really good. My favorite spinning reel is a Daiwa Tatula MQLT, which stands for lightness size 3000, and you're in business. And the line is a Suffix 10-pound test, 832, with a 8-pound, 6-foot fluorocarbon leader suffix. You know, when you come up to these Canadian lakes, and we've talked about this numerous times, anywhere you go for smallmouth, you got a hair jig on, black hair jig on, and you got a topwater bait, and you got a jerk bait like an X-Rap. These are mainstays. But every one of these lakes could be different. Some got weeds, some are no weeds at all, and they're all filled with boulders and rocks and a little tip. And the more fertile the lakes with these weeds, the bigger the smallmouth seems to be. When you're in the other lakes, the deeper, clearer ones, they got smallmouths, the numbers are higher. Yeah, you know, but you don't get the monsters like we're getting here now. So just something to keep in mind. There's something for everybody in this area.
I don't see him now.
Yeah.
But he was there.
If you're planning a trip to this region, there's a few baits you need to bring. Jigs have been a mainstay. The VMC Half Moon jig is a great option. It works well with all kinds of plastics, from worms to grubs to swim baits. The Big Bite Bait Sensation Smasher is a real killer. It's super subtle and now made in proprietary Sensation soft plastics formula for increased fish attraction that smallmouth can't resist.
Oh, one other thing, make sure you load up on a good variety of Big Bite Baits plastics. Tubes, grubs, paddle tails, finesse stuff. You're gonna go through a lot of baits because you're constantly catching smallmouths from this big to this big all day long.
Next is the VMC Marabou Jig. This little snack-sized bait is great for doubling up on following smallmouths, and sometimes it'll be the best bait in your box. Bring a variety of Rapala topwater baits. Two of our favorites are the Skitter Prop and the X-Rap Pop. Both have a distinct sound and attraction that are tough to beat. A VMC Redline Series spinnerbait is always on board because it's so versatile and allows you to fish fast and through any kind of cover. Finally, the king of smallmouth lures, the X-Rap. It's tried and true and performs all season long. Hey, you can't go wrong with any of these baits.
When you first come up here, you quickly learn that the Canadian shield eats up anything that digs into the bottom in a form of lead or tungsten. It just eats it. So you learn how to fish over and through and around the rocks. Everything is target fishing. You're trying to float. I'm fishing a real light jig head with a big bite bait sensation smasher. Looks like a leech in the water, and they love it. But it's just kind of swimming. It's floating up over and through these rocks, and these fish love to eat up. They love to eat up. So you learn real quick that you're not going to put a 3/4 ounce jig on and start pounding bottom around here. It ain't going to happen. You'll learn how to fish over, through, and around these boulders. And that means fishing up, over, slightly to the side, walking it, feathering it over the top of the rocks. Have him come down here so his buddy sees my bait. Oh yeah. Okay. He wanted to be a star.
There we go. Look at that one. That is a beautiful fish. Here we go. We got to put this one back. We got to put them all back, but especially one that size. When we're fishing smallmouth, we're pretty much constantly on the move. It's a casting activity. And occasionally you want to stop and hit a spot. Maybe a fish jumps, you want to throw a couple of lures at that fish. Al's boat's got a couple of ways to do that. He's got the Ultrek Quest up front, which he's got spot lock, and he's got a talon back here where he can talon down and he can stop, fish. My boat at home has basically the same setup. We use the talon much less because we're on the river with current. We do have the Ultreks, and that spot lock is priceless. When you want to stop for any reason, we stop when we're landing a fish, we stop when we want to fish a spot. For any reason, that spot lock is absolute gold.
I gotta tell you, when you come to Sunset Country, and especially the Atikokan area, and you like to catch smallmouth bass, big smallmouth bass, you're coming to the right place. Do yourself a favor. You want to have a trip of a lifetime? Give Jeremy a call. Check out what he's got going. He's got fly-in camps. He's got all kind of stuff going. You'll love it. Give him a call. Book yourself a trip of a lifetime, especially if you're really into backpacking, canoeing, maybe you got a sense of adventure. They got everything here. Hey, I'm getting ready to go in for my annual wellness physical. Now I know what the doctor's gonna do. I go through the whole drill. They do the blood work, they do this, my eyes, ears, I've been to the dentist, I've been to the eye people. I'm doing now I'm to him for my last checking all the different boxes. And I feel pretty good. I'm not expecting anything negative. But when I go in there, this happened last year. And we go in and he's kind of telling me, well, you kind of watch this, Al, some of these things you're a little bit off here. And then, on your diet. Now, I like pasta. I admit I like pasta. He says, you could cut back on a little bit of that stuff. And I said, okay, I'll cut back on the pasta. I like mashed potatoes and gravy. He said, you might want to cut back a little bit on the mashed potatoes and gravy. Kind of watch what you're eating. You're healthy, we want to keep you that way. Then he got the breads. Bread. I said, now we got a problem. I didn't care too much. I can handle the pasta, I can handle the potatoes. I like bread. I like a lot of different kinds of bread, and I like it toasted. It's good. You put all kind of stuff on it. And I have it with steak, I have bread with everything. I'll take it with everything, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I like bread. And I told him, I'm gonna follow Jesus' wellness plan. And it's simple. Him and his team did really good. They ate a lot of bread, they ate a lot of fish, and they eat a lot of fruit. I'm gonna stick with his program, and I bet you I'm gonna do pretty good when you see me next year. Well, we'll see when I go in and talk to him again. Bread, fish, fruit. Everything you gotta know about life is in this book, man. Jesus got the answers for all of it, even what you eat. I had to share that with you. A little bit of humor, but a little bit of seriousness behind it too. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, have a good, safe fishing season. We'll see you on the water.
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride. This segment is brought to you by Wavy Label Eyewear. Backed by a lifetime warranty, we see what others don't.
We are loaded for bear. We got
You know,
bites.
there's so many different ways to fish for walleye. Dependability and efficiency.
Simple, fast, and easy.
The best rods on the planet. They like to eat when you're throwing the right thing.
You don't have all bluebird flat calm days.
Just a perfect eating size fish.
See, that's what I'm talking about, these Daiwa drags.
We got walleye stuff, we got crappie stuff, we got pike.
This boat is rigged up about as nice.
Easy to use, and it flat out works.
It's a must-have when you're talking about big waves. Well, these trout are so darn tough.
Incredible 11-year warranty.
So that was on a number 8 Shad Rap.
Your style of boat control is really key.
One that was there from the very beginning.
You want to be able to see in the water.
The adventure begins.